Today, we're going to move past all the fancy gear and the brand name jackets to break down the fundamental, kind of brutal science of survival. See, we're not just talking about fighting the weather, we're talking about fighting the actual laws of physics. All right, let's just dive right in with a concept that honestly changes everything. Survival experts will tell you that cold doesn't invade your body. Well, it's not really a thing. The real killer, the actual enemy you're up against, is the constant, relentless loss of your own precious body heat, just escaping into the universe.
And this right here, this is the core of the problem. You aren't just fighting the cold, you are in a battle against a fundamental law of physics called entropy. The universe, it just hates concentrated energy, and your warm body, that's a little pocket of highly concentrated energy. So the universe will do everything it can to suck that heat away until you're the same temperature as your surroundings. In a survival situation, reaching that equilibrium means death.
So, with the laws of thermodynamics literally stacked against you, how do you even begin to fight back? I mean, where do you focus your energy when everything is on the line? Well, you need a blueprint. You need a plan for your priorities. And this is it, the survival rule of threes. It's a simple, easy-to-remember framework that people like military special forces and seasoned survivalists use to make split-second life-or-death decisions. It tells you exactly what matters most, and crucially, in what order. So let's break that down. Once you can breathe, obviously that's number one, what's the very next threat? It isn't dehydration. It's not starvation. It's exposure. The rule says you've got about 3 hours in a harsh environment without shelter. And that's precisely because that battle against heat loss is the most urgent fight you're going to face. To win this fight, you can't just throw up a random shelter and hope for the best. You have to understand the enemy. You've got to know exactly how the universe is trying to steal your warmth. Think of it this way. Your body heat is trying to escape down 4 different highways all at once. And if you block 3 of them, but you leave just one wide open, you don't just get a little chilly. You can slip into the early stages of hypothermia in less than an hour. So let's meet these 4 invisible thieves. The first and probably the most common thief is conduction. You can think of it like a vampire. It has to actually touch you to drain you. When you sit or lie directly on the cold ground, that ground acts like a giant heat sink, just relentlessly sucking the warmth right out of your body. Next up is convection. See, your body warms up this tiny, invisible layer of air right next to your skin. It's called a boundary layer. Convection, which is just a fancy word for wind, physically rips that warm layer away. That forces your body to burn precious calories to create a new one, only for the wind to rip that one away too. That is the real science behind wind chill. The third thief is radiation. You can't see it, but right now your body is literally glowing, broadcasting your life's warmth out into the world as invisible infrared waves. And on a clear, cold night, that heat isn't just warming the air around you. Nope, you are radiating it directly into the near absolute zero of deep space. And finally, we have the most misunderstood and, frankly, the most dangerous thief of them all, evaporation. To turn just 1 gram of liquid sweat into a gas, it takes a huge amount of heat energy. We're talking about 540 calories. And where does that energy come from? It steals it directly from your skin. This is the traitor that uses your body's own cooling system against you. And this is the physics behind that old survival saying, cotton kills. It's not just some catchy phrase, it is a statement of scientific fact. When cotton gets wet, it becomes a death trap. See, water conducts heat 25 times faster than air, so it's draining your warmth through conduction. And at the exact same time that water is evaporating, pulling even more heat from your core. It's a really devastating 1-2 punch. Okay, so we know the 4 thieves. We get the physics of how we freeze. So how do we actually use that knowledge to engineer a solution and survive? First, let's just take a second to appreciate the scale of this threat, because the combined effect of these forces is absolutely staggering. Under the right conditions, a person can lose 1,300 watts of thermal energy. That is a massive deficit that can lead to hypothermia in as little as 14 minutes. This is why shelter is priority number 1, no question. But here's the thing. An effective shelter, it starts way before you gather a single branch. Where you build is every bit as important as what you build. Before you do anything, you have to check your location using the 5 Ws.
This little checklist just makes sure your shelter site is safe from falling branches, it's clear of major animal traffic, and it's rich in the resources you're going to need. Now let's talk about the science of the shelter itself, because this is critical. Insulation does not create heat. I'm going to say that again. Insulation does not create heat. A $1,000 jacket is basically just a body bag if your internal furnace goes out. Insulation's only job is to slow down heat loss by trapping little pockets of dead air. Air is a terrible conductor of heat, so the more tiny air pockets you can trap in your shelter's walls, the slower those thieves of heat can rob you of your warmth. But even the most perfectly engineered shelter built in the absolute ideal spot is completely useless without the single most important survival tool you will ever have. And it is not something you can pack in a bag. This quote, it just nails the final, most crucial piece of the entire puzzle. Your gear can only slow down heat loss. The only thing in the entire universe that creates your heat is your own body. Your metabolism is the engine, it's the furnace. Everything else is just designed to protect that flame. Your body is a heat engine, and calories are its fuel. Shivering? That's not just a sign that you're cold. It is your body's last-ditch, desperate effort to generate heat by burning through your energy reserves at a terrifying rate. This is why you must fuel the furnace. In freezing conditions, you have to eat high-calorie food because the very act of digestion itself actually generates heat. So the ultimate takeaway here is really a shift in perspective. Survival isn't about having the most expensive gear or being the toughest person out there. It's about understanding and respecting the fundamental laws of thermodynamics. Once you stop fighting the cold and you start managing heat loss, you're not just surviving anymore, you're applying physics to stay alive. So the question is, which battle are you prepared to fight?